Now, in the last video I did, we talked about this new proposal for Terra Luna Classic and how it wants to reduce the burn tax from 1.2% down to 0.2% and add in some sort of a developer tax, which is basically 0.02%. And I want to go over a little bit more of the details, the numbers, and my thoughts on this because yes, the intentions are great. The intentions out there in this proposal are to continue burning Terra Luna Classic. It is to potentially increase the volume on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain, which would theoretically increase burns if they were able to do it at a fast enough rate, and reward validators and so on by bringing more on-chain transactions back to the Terra Luna Classic blockchain. However, we're only 18 days in, guys. I mean, we'll jump into some of the opinions on that stuff, so if it sounds like something you're interested in, let's get started. What's up, everybody? I'm Clay. I'm here to make 2022 the best year ever. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Join us, become a bro. We're here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. Now, look, if you're brand new to investing, you don't know how or where to buy stocks in crypto, you got a link in the description below for Webull. It is super simple to set up your account. Any deposit, you guys are getting at least 6 free stocks, up to 12 free stocks, and a $1 crypto trade gets you $5 in free crypto. Now, if you want a crypto exclusive exchange where you can buy and sell Terra Luna Classic, you've got KuCoin in the description, and they offer rewards for the more active trader and also allow you to trade on leverage. If you want to contribute to the burns, you've got International Binance for the international users out there, and we know the International Binance is burning millions of dollars a week right now, so very nice to support them for supporting us as well if you guys are those international users. Now let's just really briefly talk about this proposal once more, recap what's going on, and then we'll get into kind of the insight on it. So they're basically saying that, and you guys know if you watched the previous video, that they want to immediately decrease the 1.2% burn tax down to 0.2% for all transactions. Now, this is in order to increase transactional volume and theoretically increase burns. And they also want to levy a 0.02% on this tax that is going to the ecosystem funding. Now, this ecosystem funding is to pay developers, like these guys that are currently out there working and so on. And I get that. I get that everybody wants to be paid. But here's something that you have to consider as well. When you're starting a business and you are the equity owner, you don't necessarily get to tax customers. You build value, and that value increases the worth of your equity. So if these guys that are developers have no stake in Terra Luna Classic, and they can't see their money over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever it's been, 10xing in value, it makes me wonder if they're just doing this to be guaranteed payment, if they're just developing for the fun of it, or if they actually want to see the Terra Luna Classic blockchain rebuilt. I mean, you guys as investors in Terra Luna Classic know that if we reach potential, and yes, I say we reach potential, you and I'm not a developer. So the best I can do is talk about it to keep people informed and engaged in Terra Luna Classic. These guys that are developers have a 100% control and 100% stake over the future of Terra Luna Classic. And if they would rather just have a paycheck come in than watch their business grow 10, 20, 40, 50, 100, 200, 500x over the next few years, that part's very strange to me. That these developers always want their hand and always want paid no matter what happens. So we know that this tax here is for the reduction and so on. But I do want to go over some of these numbers because they're making they're drawing some inferences that I don't think are fair. Okay, so one of the reasons or the motivation they say for this tax change is that because the chain has totaled 367 billion Terra Luna Classic traded over the last 18 days since the burn tax was implemented. So 367 billion is very low. That is about 20 billion Terra Luna Classic a day. And prior to that, in a 12-day period, now remember, this 12-day period was when Terra Luna Classic was going wild. When Terra Luna Classic had ran up to 60,000 points per coin, and there was a frenzy of emotional, excited FOMO buyers jumping in, and then a frenzy of people selling off as well as the price began to come back down a little bit. So it is not fair to compare the the amount of transactions and the transactional volume on Terra Luna Classic leading up to the burn tax being implemented and following the burn tax being implemented. And they are drastically different numbers. So the transaction volume in those 12 days leading up to the tax was 2.3 trillion Terra Luna Classic. Now, if you take those numbers and you would apply the 0.2% burn tax to those numbers, you essentially end up with 4.6 billion Terra Luna Classic. That's the 2.3 trillion times the 0.002 or the 0.2%. You end up with roughly 4.6 billion Terra Luna Classic that would have been burned. Guys, we've burned over 5 billion with the current tax rate. So what they're saying is that if we had the same amount of volume, theoretically, we would be able to replace those burns and potentially do even better. Now, this would be nice, but the burns would remain relatively the same if we kept that volume. And that's the part that I think a lot of people aren't looking at. Why was that volume there in the first place? The volume wasn't there in the first place because there was no burn tax. The volume was there for a variety of reasons, and it was due to excitement. Staking had just returned. People were anticipating this burn tax, driving Terra Luna Classic higher. They were buying in on a FOMO frenzy, and it resulted in roughly billions of dollars a day being transacted in Terra Luna Classic. It was inflated volume, not average volume, not normal volume, not something that we would return to if the burn tax were to be reduced. So, yes, I agree with the cons section of this proposal here, that we would see a drastic reduction even further in the burn tax or the amount of Terra Luna Classic burned if this proposal passes. What this proposal does is basically just make sure that developers have a job. And if they can't see the value in what they're creating over the future and they need to hit that payment right now, then yeah, I mean, we're going to need to keep the developers around. I can't develop on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain. I'm not sure if you can develop on the Terra Luna Classic blockchain, but rewarding these developers for potentially no steps forward is very risky business when you make that happen. Now, just to talk about how much the developers will be rewarded and what this community funding looks like, during that same transaction period, if they expected volume to rise back to those levels over the 12-day period, developers would have made, and I don't know how many there are, I don't know what it would be split up, but they would have made $138,000 at the current prices. If the price of Terra Luna Classic was back up to 60,000 points per coin, guys, they would have been making $280,000 in a 12-day period. Now, I don't know. I don't know. To me, seems excessive. I don't know what it seems like to you guys, but 0.02% in a developer's fee and 0.2%, it adds up. It adds up to a lot of money. And we're only 18 days in post this burn tax. Do not be impatient. Terra Luna Classic is a blockchain that will and can absolutely be rebuilt. But it doesn't happen in a 2-3 week period. I mean, nothing gets built in 18 days. Nothing. That's... I know we live in a time where everybody wants to see things happen yesterday. But 18 days is very short to assess what's going on right now. Crypto's being hit very hard. We are having very difficult times in the stock market. The economy is uncertain. Political uncertainty out there is wild. And an 18-day time frame to say, no, let's scrap that idea and try something else, is, to me, displays impatience. So I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below about this proposal and what you think about these numbers. And of course, if that button right there is still red, make sure to click it. Subscribe to the channel. Join us. Become a bro. We are here every single day, and we are growing our portfolios together. You guys got ClayBro 883 everywhere. You're getting 6 to 12 free stocks on Webull. You got KuCoin and Binance. And until the next time, hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.